Hello everyone, this is Cypher and welcome back to my hardcore world. This is episode 5 and we are going to kick things off by making a perimeter. For those of you who might be confused, I made a short a while back promising that I'll be making the Infinity Castle from Demon Slayer in my Minecraft hardcore world. And to do that, I'm going to start things off by marking the size of it. So firstly, I marked the edges of 4 chunks. After marking the 4 corners, I connected those and created the perimeter. That was a very cool transition that I accidentally made while recording. And now that the perimeter is done, the next thing to do is clear the field. So I chopped off all the trees in the area. Now that all that is done, all my tools are actually crying for help. So I decided to grab a bunch of villagers and hopefully get mending in time. Look at all these peasants trying to escape from me. I'm going to enslave all of them. I didn't actually mean for this to happen and this idiot just didn't go in the water in time as well. But don't worry, he didn't die, but I think this might have caused me a problem in the future because he didn't restock his trades after he was all out of it. So basically, since I had set up an iron farm and it was working pretty well, I decided to make the blast furnace guy. I don't know what he's called, maybe the weaponsmith. So I decided to get that guy so I can trade my iron for emeralds. Yeah, he's an armorer, not a weaponsmith. So I didn't get the iron trade in the first one. I don't know if that's possible, but I hope to trade him something and hopefully level up to the iron trade because that will be really helpful to get tons of diamond. And the mending villager also didn't take like a lot of time, but I did get him eventually, maybe like 15 minutes of trying, and it was so worth it. I did use a lot of my emeralds to level this guy up, but I didn't know that would be a huge mistake and a waste of emeralds because he didn't restock it. But after getting mending, I did try to enchant a few books to hopefully get Unbreaking 3, but unfortunately I had a really bad luck and I didn't get any good enchantments as well. So I just enchanted my elytra with mending and went on to slay some mobs to repair the elytra. The next day, I continued to kidnap another villager to get a Fletcher villager so that I can trade all the wood from the Infinity Castle clearing, make them into sticks, and get more emeralds for more mending. Just look at all the iron boats I got to get the iron trade. But I didn't know that will be a complete waste of time. And actually, this was the time 1.21 came out releasing the crafter, and I just wanted to craft the crafter. Like, I had no idea what to do with it. I know how it works because I made a video on it earlier, but I just didn't know what to do with it. So I just crafted that and continued grinding. I was just grinding for some food, but I didn't expect this to happen. And it actually happened again with the cows as well. And that costed me a lot of livestock. I was not happy with it. I was not happy with this as well. It happened the second time with the sheep itself. And again in the cows. I also did continuously kill the chickens because the chests were overflowing with chicken eggs, so I will occasionally kill the chickens and use all the chicken eggs in the farm to reproduce more chickens. Also, if someone can you help me with this? This is the same villager that I accidentally fire touched and burned him a little bit. But I don't know if that's the real reason he isn't restocking, but it has been multiple days since I did my first iron trade with him and he hasn't restocked it ever since. I had to get a second blast furnace guy. I had to get a second armorer to get the iron trade again. This guy was completely useless and I couldn't even kill him because the other villagers would get upset and up their prices. I then slowly grinded and grinded and grinded and grinded to get more mending and apply mending to all of my equipment. Just not yet. Also, something just incredible happened. If you guys saw the earlier episodes, you would have seen that I accidentally put on a curse of binding diamond helmet on my head when I was doing the 30-day challenge, and I couldn't take it off because it has curse of binding. But this episode, while I was grinding to get more XP to use mending, a creeper blew up next to me and the helmet broke. I didn't even expect that. I just heard a little crack sound, the sound that armor makes when it breaks, and I didn't know what was happening. I just took a lot more damage and it broke. The reason I made another diamond helmet is because I saw I had a couple diamond helmets but it didn't have good enchants. So I just got another diamond helmet and enchanted it. And it had good enchantments as well, just not Unbreaking 3, but all of it was pretty good. I liked that, and I would eventually get mending for this too. I also had complete protection, like everything is protection 4 except my chest plate, I think, so I should just get protection 4 for that as well. So what I'm doing now is I am digging down the perimeter I made for the infinity castle and checking how deep it goes. Obviously it goes to -64, but I just wanted to check if there is any caves to make things easier for me. I just wanted to see that because I had initially planned to make the infinity castle going from -64 to build limit, which is like 255 or 315, I don't know which is what. I completely forgot the build limit, but that's what I was going for. But then after some devastating incidents, I did eventually change that plan. But okay, you'll see what will happen in the future. Let me just go over here. Imagine I ducked straight into lava and killed myself. This was a very dangerous and irresponsible thing to do. I could have gotten stuck in the cave and died, but fortunately I didn't. I suppose those who are watching right now can probably tell where this is going. I'm just grabbing some coral for something I need, but some of the smart ones among you might know what I'm doing here. I was running really low on slime, so I took a short trip, actually multiple long trips, to the nearest mangrove swamp to grab some slime. If I'm being honest, I wanted to stream all of this live on Twitch because this was like multiple hours of content that's just going off screen. Like, I didn't even record most of this stuff because I knew that I wouldn't be posting it because that would be too long. I actually wanted to stream this on Twitch, but back then I didn't know how to stream on Twitch. I wasn't a streamer and I just grabbed that idea. But now I can stream on Twitch. Follow Cypher the Slayer. Go to Twitch right now, type at Cypher the Slayer and you will see my name and click follow. Go now. I actually came up with multiple strategies, tactics and plans to farm slimes more efficiently in the swamp. I even used looting 2 on my sword to get more slime balls because it was not like there were so many slimes spawning. But will you look at this, just how much time is wasted here, just me yapping in this YouTube video. I actually wanted to stream all of this, but I just couldn't. But I can now, so follow me on Twitch, another plugin. Just get as much self-advertising as I can in this one video. Also, I thought finding a fossil like this is very cool, so I just decided to clip that. And right after this happens, my elytra broke mid-flight. But thankfully I wasn't flying too high. You had no idea what I had to go through. Like, you had no idea how far my base is from here. It is pretty close, but not that close. It's like a couple hundred blocks, maybe like 500 to 1000 blocks from here. And I had to go there using rotten flesh. I had no food as well. and I am low on hearts and on hardcore as well. But I just kept going, hoping to find something like a rabbit or sheep or cow, so I could use my fire aspect sword on them and get food pretty easily. Rest assured, I did eventually spot my iron from very far and safely made it back to my base. So now hopefully you guys can see where this is going. So like I said, I am using a TNT duplicator to make the perimeter. I am using this to go to negative 64 so I can build the infinity castle. But let me tell you now itself, this did not end well for me. Everything was going very well until I decided to mess this up. It wasn't on purpose, but even I made safety precautions by destroying the blocks under it so that the TNT wouldn't blow itself up. But after everything I did eventually end up messing this up and breaking the entire thing. By the way, this is not what had happened. Like, this isn't where everything went south. Like, this isn't the moment where I almost rage quit and deleted this world. So the problem here was that when coming back it wasn't as efficient because the TNT didn't duplicate on the way back. So I just added another block and added a coral to it. And no, this isn't where everything went wrong. I just added an extra block there so it couldn't push it. See, it, it's working perfectly fine. See, when it goes forward, it duplicates a TNT, and when it comes back, it duplicates another one. Everything is going perfectly fine until that one moment. The reason I am collecting all these blocks is because I figured that eventually I would need a ton of blocks to build the infinity castle, and I would need to gather a lot of resources. So I just decided to store everything I could get. Like, I'm going to be storing every block from here to bedrock, or at least that was what I initially planned. But nothing ever goes as planned in this world. So everything was going well, and I found it quite boring to go down and get the materials, and I just spammed it. And this happened. I tried my best, but unfortunately, every single thing blew up, and I just quit. And I almost did delete the world, but I just decided to keep going. Everything, like almost everything except the slime survived. Except the slime and coral. Like the minecart survived, I didn't need the minecart. Also, I did get the ominous water here, but that's not the point. I needed slimes. I grinded so hard for the slimes, and now I had to grind so hard, and I can't even post it on YouTube, and I couldn't even stream it on Twitch. So that's why I got so upset. But then I did come up with quite nice tactics and plans to gather a lot of slimes in a short amount of time, and I did quite well, and hence the grinding continued. By the way, this is the second guy I was talking about. The first guy didn't work out very well, like he didn't restock his trade till now, and I decided to get another guy. As you can see, I even cleared a small patch and lit up the nearby areas, so more slimes could spawn in this particular place and I could farm them more easily. And yeah, this was the tactic I was talking about. I lowered my simulation distance to 5, which was the lowest I could, and I just flew up like this and slowly ascended to my platform I made and waited for slimes to spawn. I actually failed at this attempt, but I did make it up there, and slimes would eventually spawn. Like if the surrounding mobs despawn, more slimes would spawn. And if it's night time, like if it's full moon, even more slimes would spawn. After getting a ton of slimes, I decided using TNT duplicators was not the way. I decided that I would start the infinity castle from where I was. Like I think I was at level 64, so I decided to go from there to height limit. In order to do that, I filled out the nearby lakes and ponds and then built the scaffoldings for the Infinity Castle rooms. I knew there was gonna be a ton of rooms in it, so I decided to farm a lot of trees, especially spruce and dark oak. I actually didn't have dark oak at this point, but a wandering trader eventually came. It's this guy, and I got 4 dark oak saplings to farm more dark oak trees. And yeah, this guy was a complete scam, but he accidentally vaporized himself, so I didn't need to worry about it. But as I was grinding for the Infinity Castle, it was at this point that it was getting pretty boring for me. So I decided to get a cartography villager and get the trial chambers map to visit the trial chambers. So yeah, I also made a short on finding the trial chambers and how I am going to stream it on Twitch. So follow me there. And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next video where I conquer the trial chambers.